I just got back from meeting with Joe. I've never met him before. He emailed, he wanted to be on the podcast, so we've done the episode now, and it's ready to watch. This was a strange one because, well, he wanted to meet in a park to do the podcast, and I thought, well, I've never seen a podcast done in a park before. It doesn't seem like an ideal environment. Normally I would plug in equipment and lights and sit down at a table with a sort of structure over my head that would stop any rain from coming in. Maybe even walls. You know, I find that's the best place to be to do a podcast. It's quiet. You know, it's the best place to do it. But he was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to be in a park. I wanted to be in the park. And I thought, well, listen, if a guest wants that, then they can have that. You know, fair enough. That's what he wants. However, I went to get some chicken at Asda. As I come out of Asda, it was raining so profusely that I sent him this video to show the rain bouncing off the ground and to show my face was soaking wet because it was raining. And I said, like, is there another plan? Is there anything else we can do here? Is there another place? And he's like, no, you know what? The park has some thick trees over it and there's maybe some sheltered areas. So I think it'll be fine. Thought, okay then. But this could get crazy. I took a raincoat. Both decided it would be hilarious to wear Hawaiian shirts despite the weather being terrible. So we both did that. He said to me, I'll be on a yellow bike, so look out for a yellow bike. I'd never seen anything of this guy. He said he was 16 years old. And I said, okay, so this is a rule that I'll tell you all now for anyone wanting to be on the podcast. If you're not 18 or over, you must bring a parent or guardian with you. I told him in the first message that I sent him, you must bring a parent or guardian. And then I sent reminders like, just don't go and meet a random person in the park, you know, unless you've got a parent or guardian with you. So he brought his dad, and his dad is a postman, and he came. I was like, do you want to sit down and we'll all, you know, talk, we'll do the podcast together? He's like, no, I don't really understand it. I don't understand what a podcast is. And I tried to explain it to him, like, we're just going to sit down and talk, and then I'll edit it together and it'll be like a video that people can watch. That's all it is. He's like, no, it's not for me. So he goes to the shop and he comes back with a few drinks, like some Pepsi or whatever, and a newspaper, and he just sits on the bench, which is just like in the distance there, and he's just reading his paper while we're chatting shit on this this table here. So the table is absolutely soaked because it was raining earlier. Luckily, the weather had calmed down a bit, so it wasn't too bad. We sat down, and while we were setting up the cables and the mics and stuff, we just talked about what subjects we were going to talk about, because I didn't just want it to be an aimless discussion. It had to have key points and things that we covered. I believe we've covered them all, and that should be good. That's all ticked off the list. It's all good. The bench was soaking wet, but I put my coat down on the bench so that I didn't get soaking. I believe he mopped up his side of the bench with his hoodie, which is now, I assume, a tangled mess of rainwater. The equipment, it had this, like, it was a bench like normal, but then it had this extra bit on the end, so it was good to just have all the podcast equipment there. That all went fine. My mum gave me this other phone, which is, it was supposed to be for my nana, but she dropped it on the day that she got it, and it got this crack in there, so she never used it. She never gave it to my nana, so she just left it in a drawer. But the quality is great. The only problem is that, like, I'd placed this phone on this stand here, which I use for all my videos. It's a great stand. It's very simple. It just, like, you put it down and that's it. It goes on the desktop, so you don't even have to have it like in the way or anything. I thought it would be cool to have the gimbal as the other camera, which would be pointing to me. Joe has just sat there talking with a perfectly normal still angle, but I've got this gimbal which is like, I must have pressed a button on it and it sets it to this thing where it's like every time I move my head it seems to move the gimbal slightly. And then it was windy, so the thing was like course correcting against the wind, so it's just like, it just looks like I'm on a moving bus or a boat or something, so that could be annoying. And then halfway through the interview, the gimbal just died, so it just falls upside down. Lesson learned, I need another one of these like simple tripods for the desk. I think it would be good to get another microphone that just clamps on. Like I only have one microphone and clamp stand here, so the other microphone I was holding was just really annoying. I didn't want to hold it the whole time, so I had this lapel microphone, and I guess the sound quality is okay, but clearly one side of the mic works better than the other, so I need another microphone like this one with a windsock, or dead cat as they call it in the industry, another clamp stand, a more sensible thing to put the phone on. Apart from that, it was a great discussion. We got everything talked about that we wanted to talk about, learned a lot about him, and he was great. It was a great guest. It was a fun time. I hope you enjoy it, and if you want to be on the podcast, just email. But this is Joe in the park. Let's get into it.
Favourite flavour of Monster Munch? It's probably... I like the roast beef ones.
Flaming hot ones are nice, well.
Yeah. I'll eat any of them, yeah, I mean. you want to finish off the...
Oh, wow. Cheers. You put it in the bin, you mean?
Thank you. Alright. What is that, Mojo magazine?
No, Private Eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's this one doing? It's doing alright.
Oh, so do you get feedback from that in the headphones?
Yeah, I wasn't sure to tell you to bring a pair of headphones or not, but I thought that it would be best if you're not wearing them. Just literally just so if I get home it's like, it's just not working.
Yeah.
So everything seems to be working. That's recording. Is this? Yeah, this one's recording.
We're recording.
Let's do a little quick clap there, and a little clap there, and a little clap there.
Nice. Just forget that might slip. That's good.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm joined at the park here by Joe.
Yeah.
We're here in Hawaiian shirts to celebrate the lovely weather.
Yeah.
I was told it was going to be a nice. Well, actually, I was not told it was going to be a nice day. And I said, why are we doing it in the park if it's going to be raining? And he said,
Irony.
right. So we put on our Hawaiian shirts, and here we are.
We are.
So, all right. So what's the deal? What's this all about? You've just finished school.
Yeah. I've just finished school. I've done my GCSEs. I won't reveal which school for my privacy. I've got about 10 weeks off.
Yeah. It used to be. I'm sure it used to be 6 weeks back in the day.
Well, it's 6 weeks, but the exams finish earlier than the summer term dates.
So you
I would
you
have
don't need to
another
be-
4 weeks.
But they don't need to waste your time doing that.
Yeah, because we've done everything. You know what I mean? There's nothing more to do in
10 weeks.
secondary education. Yeah.
What are you going to do with your 10 weeks?
I don't know. I've been pretty busy so far. I've been doing bike work and everything, and
Bike work.
yeah, well,
So
it's out of shot, but
We'll get a shot of it.
yeah.
But so you got this bike.
Yeah, I got that for free off Charlton Recycle Reuse on Facebook. It's actually my mum who found it. She's like, oh, do you want it? I saw it at first and I was like, looks a bit crap. But then I looked further into it, and it's an
For a free bike.
It's an old Diamondback X-Link, I think from 2000. I've swapped most of the parts from my old bike onto this.
What did you swap?
Pretty much everything: the handlebars, the stem, the grips, the brakes.
So it's just
the
the yellow
saddle.
frame.
Yeah, I don't think anything. The only things that are original to it when I got it are the cranks, the headset, the seat post and clamp, and the that's it. Yeah.
But is this something that you do though, or is this like?
Oh yeah. I'd say I'm very passionate about it. It's always been I picked it up. It's 2023, 2021.
What this? No, the hobby.
No, yeah,
the hobby
cycling.
bike,
Because
right.
I'd always had bikes as a kid,
Yeah.
but I kind of lost interest, and then I got a bike that my dad had. I started riding it, and then I've just kept riding ever since. You know, anywhere I'll go
Yeah.
on my
Straight
bike,
on the bike.
it's just forget walking there or getting the bus or whatever. You know, I'll just cycle.
That's interesting because like I remember, like growing up, it was like the bus was everything for me. It was
Yeah.
like always the bus.
Always the
Constantly
bus.
I'd change for the bus. My brother was always the one with the bike,
Yeah.
and like he always turned up with a fucking slash of like mud up his like back.
Oh,
It looked
yeah.
like he'd shit himself every time we went anywhere, and I was just like,
I've had that before when I've had no mudguard.
yeah, that was the thing. He got a mudguard soon after, but there were days and days where he would turn up at school looking like he'd just shit himself, and that's got a mudguard on there.
No, it hasn't. But when I go cycling, I just wear like an old T-shirt, so I'm not bothered about getting
Yeah.
mud up.
It's just
my
such a
rear end.
specific like stain. But at the
Yeah,
same time.
it looks horrible. I have used mudguards on it before, but I find I don't like the big bulky mudguards, so I get these like plastic ones where you cut it into shape and then you fold it. But they just don't really work unless it's like, you know, it's rained recently. You don't get a load of mud around here, so
I mean,
it's all right.
If that's your go-to means of like travel, and you've came here on it today,
Yeah.
and you're not covered in mud, fair enough.
Well, I chose my lines and the paths, but I'll steer out of the mud.
Well, okay? So here's the thing we're going to talk about here. You're not a driver yet.
No.
What are your like? A lot of people hate cyclists on the road, right? Do you ride on the road or on the paths?
No, I'll ride on, if there's separate cycle paths, I'll ride on the cycle paths.
Yeah.
But I'll ride on the road because it's actually illegal to ride on the pavements.
Yeah, I think once you pass your like cycle proficiency.
Bikeability. I did that in
Is that what it is now? Yeah.
year 6, I think. I never got the badge for it.
I don't think I got a badge, to be
I
honest.
was wronged by my teacher.
You know what though? I never got me like GCSE badge or anything. There's no proof to anything we do at school.
Yeah.
Just make it all up for the rest of your life.
Yeah. So you just got to take, employers have got to take your word for it.
Well, they have to, because it's like, okay, well, if you want me to find it, I mean,
Yeah.
can I go out and ask anyone else in this whole company, can you find your GCSEs?
Yeah.
No. So although you've just done them,
Yeah.
you're never going to have to show them at any point.
But yeah, I will cycle on the roads. I'll always steer to the side. I won't be one of those idiot cyclists who takes up the whole road and's like brake checking drivers. It's dangerous, is what it is as well.
It seems like they've got nowhere to be. You know, they're just chilling, and it's taking up everyone's time.
Well, I always get anxious if there's like drivers behind me. I'll look and sometimes like I've cycled up to Urmston today and then I cycle back, and if there's a car behind me and it's not going past, I'll be like, why can't you go past? Just instead of tailgating me.
You know what though? There's all these things where you see it on the news. It's like cyclists must be given 10 metres or whatever, and then everyone's frightened now because cyclists also, you see on TikTok and on YouTube, but they've got a camera on their helmet.
Yeah.
You think, shit, I'm going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
I'm going to get a fucking driving ban or something.
I know.
And so people are just like, well, I'll just wait.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd say give them distance, but don't like you know when you see like Kim Jong-un he's got all his guards running in front of the limousines.
Yeah.
Don't be like that, and
don't be Kim Jong-un.
give him the whole road. Yeah, don't be a Kim Jong-un cyclist.
That should be on signs all over Manchester.
I mean, there's a lot of cycling infrastructure being put into place recently in Manchester. There's it's called Cyclops, Cycle Operations, I think.
I like the name.
It's pretty cool. But there's like I don't know if you've come through Chorlton on Barlowmore Road. You've seen the big separate cycle path.
I must have seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's newish. I think that was fully built like by the end of 2022.
Yeah.
But there's a load of cycling infrastructure, especially like near the Trafford Centre. Sometimes, like even if I want to go to the shops, if I can't be asked to walk,
you take a lock for your bike.
I've got 2 locks, but the shop, literally, that's my house. You go around the corner and it's there. It's 1 minute away.
You take the bike out?
No, I don't. That's the thing, because I can't be bothered to lock it all. That takes a minute.
Yeah, that takes more effort than just walking.
Yeah, but it's like counter laziness, if that makes sense. You're trying to save time by cycling there because it's quicker, but then to lock your bike up and everything, it takes longer. So
I think people don't appreciate the pain in the arse that cycling was.
Yeah,
you forget about it when you become driving. You just think, right, the main pain in the arse is all of the like restricted areas and speed zone changes and shit. But like being on the bike is a massive pain in the arse, and I guess motorbikes as well.
Well, I mean, I quite enjoy it, but there are some times where, like, if I've got to cycle somewhere, I think I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But I'm most of the time I'm keen to get out because I don't like being stuck indoors.
Yeah.
I say fairly active.
What about like those places? Like those like it's like a skate park, but it's like mud or whatever. And you can take your mountain bike on it.
Oh, a bike park.
Are there any of them?
I think they've got one on the outskirts of Manchester. I don't know where it is. It's the kind of rural urban fringe where the countryside meets the city, but I've never been to one. I'm not like a huge professional mountain biker.
I went to one as a kid. It was in Hendon, and for anyone who's watching from Sunderland, it's in Hendon. And I can't remember what it was called, but it was like, I think it was called Vertex or something. And I was like, I had a BMX bike because once I moved on to mountain bikes, I couldn't get away with it and I stopped riding.
Yeah.
BMX style was for me, but I didn't do any BMX shit. I just used it to ride around.
Was it a pump track where you there's the hills and then you go around in a track?
I went to one of them, but I also went to when like there was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and then there was the whatever the BMX one was as well.
Yeah,
I can't remember
yeah.
what the guy's name was, but I was like, right, I've got to drop in from a half pipe on this bike, and I thought it'd be so easy to do. But like, what happened? I just dropped in. The handlebars went into my stomach. I just fell out. But I didn't persevere and become a great bike. I was like bike rider. I was just like, right, that's it.
It discourages you, doesn't it? You fall off, and then you think, oh, I'm not cut out for this.
I fell off once. That was it. Same with skating. Did you ever do the skating thing?
Oh, I went to Chorlton Park when how old was I? I must have been 10 or 11. I got a skateboard from Smith's Toy Superstores at Christmas. And I what is it when you start rolling, if that makes sense? Started rolling, and I pushed my foot on the ground, and when I say splits.
You did the split.
You know, if it were any worse, you know, like it was horrible. I was in immense pain.
Yeah.
Because I'd slipped and my legs had gone like that.
Right.
It was awful. And I've never touched a skateboard since.
How long were you on it before that happened?
5 minutes.
That's it. Put it away.
Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't much longer for me, but I did this really kind of, probably quite cringy looking at it now.
Yeah.
I spent ages like painting it and like putting
That's
stickers
what I
on
did.
and shit. And I was like, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I needed the shoes. I had to have skate shoes.
Yeah.
And Etnies hoodies.
Etnies.
Like
I've got a pair of Etnies.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skate 3. I'm playing it all day. I've got my skateboard just about ready. All right. And I brought my nana to a park like this one, but with a little ramp.
Yeah.
Fell off it. Fuck the skateboard.
Yeah.
Never did it again.
I did that. I use these like paint pens and the grip tape on it.
Yeah.
I started drawing designs on the grip tape and everything. Fell off it 5 minutes later,
it's all about the paraphernalia of it. It's like once you've got it and you realise that it's actually quite hard to do. Fuck it.
Yeah. Well, it's like I'm quite artistic. I took art for GCSE and I've taken it for A level as well.
Yeah.
But I envisage in my head, I'm like, I'm going to draw this, like a portrait, say for example, and I'll start drawing the eye, and I'm like, this looks a bit off, so I'll rub it out and do it again. And then it's the proportions, you look at it and it's like, yeah, I thought I could do it, and it just looks like something out of, looks like a caricature.
Yeah. I hear if you look at the thing upside down, that's supposed to be like, so you're not really looking at it, you're drawing what you see rather than what you think you see.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everything, but
yeah.
You've got to talk about the Tourette's that you were mentioning before.
Oh yeah.
Because I think like, I'll be honest with you. How long have we been talking? 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Seconds. Yeah. And it's not like, when you think Tourette's, you think there's going to be a constant like.
Yeah, swearing.
So is yours more like tics or words or what?
It's a mix of everything. It's mostly motor tics.
Yeah.
So you like twitching my face and everything. I do have vocal tics sometimes. Like I'll grunt or whatever, but I do swear sometimes, but that's quite a common misconception. When people hear Tourette's think, they just swear all the time.
Yeah.
Well, so there are cases of that, but it's only about 10% of the Tourette's population have swearing tics. It's like,
so you have them, but very rarely, like.
Yeah, very rarely. I mean, I do swear openly, like not as part of my Tourette's. Like,
do you think that's what it is? It's more your brain knows what you don't want to say, and that's what it'll force you to say.
Yeah.
Like, swearing's okay now, but like to say something like I don't even want to say it.
Yeah, no, I know.
I saw one on what was it? It was on Channel 4, and the woman was like, that's the worst thing she could have said.
I've seen ones where it's like really bad. Or like there's jokes like, you're on a plane, you go, I have a bomb or hijack. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like. You very rarely get that. A lot of the times with extreme case of Tourette's, it's like rather than the funny situations like saying something awkward, it's more like really physical. So there's a case of a girl in Australia, and she's hitting herself, and there's she's
what control do you have over it?
Not much. I mean, I'm 16 now. I was diagnosed on my 8th birthday. So I've learned there's coping mechanisms, but suppressing it, there's only so much I can do. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest, if you hadn't mentioned it, I don't even think
Probably wouldn't have
and I would have
noticed.
equated what you were doing with just like,
Yeah.
this is just what people are like, you know. When you sat straight opposite someone,
Yeah.
everyone's like that, you know. But
Yeah.
I guess if that's what it is, then it's. I mean, maybe is it degenerative? Does it get worse? Or
It depends. It's a very complex condition.
what about Lewis Capaldi's whole thing?
Oh yeah, I saw that. My mum saw that because.
He had to cancel his set at Glastonbury.
Yeah. My mum saw that because she's always reading up on Tourette's because she was the one who noticed at first when I started ticking.
What was it you started doing first?
I think my first one was shrugging. I remember
Right.
I was in primary school. I was walking down the hallway. I was shrugging like that, and I couldn't. I was trying to find my maths book, and the teacher was like, "Oh, where's your maths book?" I was like, "I don't know," and I just kept doing that, and she was like, "All right, stop it now." I was like, "I can't help it."
Yeah.
Anyway,
I get it. You don't know.
You think, "Oh, I hate that." You think I'd be like, "Oh, I hate that teacher." No, once she started to understand because she was the best member of staff in that school. She was a teacher assistant, but she was brilliant. She said, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I didn't know."
Yeah.
But I like to educate people about it because if you start talking to someone, it's like you start doing
It'll make your life easier if everyone knows about it.
Yeah. I've got one at the moment of staring. I can't, like, if someone sat next to me, I'll always go, and then they make contact with me, and I go, but I keep doing it, and then they start to ask, "Why are you staring at me?" I'm like, "I can't help it," and I do get made fun of sometimes for it, but I've lived with it for so many years now. It's water off a duck's back. It's nothing to me.
Do you know what I find on, like, you know, when you watch like Undateables or whatever, it's like Gary has Tourette's and whatever. It's like it doesn't bother people at all. It's like it's just a thing. Like it doesn't. It's never. I don't think it's ever going to bother people. It's like maybe in the past it would have been like, oh no, but
oh, he's just weird.
I think what I would worry about is just that thing with the Lewis Capaldi thing where like he is trying to become a like world famous singer and he's like having to like, it was his shoulder, wasn't it? It was the
I think
just the
so.
one shoulder that he has.
Yeah, but see, it's strange because I've got Tourette syndrome, but I tick as part of that. Now, a syndrome is a collective of conditions. So I've got the tics, and then I've got stuff like OCD, ADHD, like possible autism. I'm on the the autism pathway for getting diagnosed with that. So when people see someone ticking, because tic disorders are very common, they automatically think, oh, he's got Tourette syndrome. Well, he might not, or she, whatever. They might have a tic disorder and not necessarily Tourette's, but that's what everyone thinks of. A lot of people, you see a lot of stuff in the media, and it's like, oh, it's about Tourette's, but it's all like common misconceptions, and from I'll read it and I'll be like, this is all wrong. It's
this is
not
what
right.
We're going to set the record straight today,
Yeah, here to educate the people of the Hot Potato podcast.
Well, yeah, but I hate that, like what you said earlier, it was just like you get made fun of for like staring or whatever. It's just like everyone should be aware of it. Like if you had I don't know, I'm trying to think of another condition that's more visible. I don't know, if you were missing an eye or something, people wouldn't be like, what, wouldn't just be staring at your eye.
Yeah. What is your problem?
What's your problem? You stare at me with one eye. Just the one eye.
Yeah.
So the other thing we've got to talk about is like, right, obviously school, you just done your GCSEs. Did you study for them?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm not academic whatsoever. I'm not like someone who strives to be studious and get like grade 9's the best grade now, because I imagine when you did it is A to F.
Yeah, A to F.
Or a U if you failed.
I got a U in drama. I shouldn't have even took it. I don't know why I took it.
But now it's 1 to 9.
So what's 9?
9's like an A star, I think.
Okay, so
I'm not too sure.
So low numbers is bad.
Yeah.
Right.
But
you don't know what you got yet?
No. My results day is on the 24th. That's for everyone in the country.
Yeah.
August 24th. My year 11 mock GCSEs didn't go well, and that was kind of a wake-up call for me. Right, I need to revise. I need to crack on, because if some of the subjects I've taken from GCSE I want to do for A level.
So what is it that you took?
For GCSE.
You mentioned art.
Yeah, for GCSE I took art, DT, geography and computer science, because you have to take either geography or history. You can take both, but that's one of your options taken up.
Yeah.
I didn't take triple science because,
It's not an option. Like, I just took biology. Is it like all of them now?
You do all of them, but you can take triple science where you do more content and more lessons, like in the 2 years that you study at GCSE.
Right.
Or you can do combined, which I did, which like it doesn't take up an option. And then for A level, I want to do DT, art, and geography.
Right.
I want to go into something like product design.
So this is the goal is like product design.
Yeah, product design, maybe architecture, but I suppose you'd probably have to have like mathematics qualifications in that. Maybe. I'm all right at maths. I'm getting like 7s, which is I think
and just
a
remind
B.
me,
I think
7 is close to the 9, which 9 is good.
I think a 7 is like a B. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Any older folk who did their O levels, because it was O levels
then. What are the first 8 levels? The first 9 letters? A, B, C,
C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Well, they only had A, because they had A star, didn't they? A star, A,
okay.
B,
So
C, D, E,
H.
F, and then U.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the U was just
to fail.
It was an insult, really.
Yeah,
I thought F was fail, but fucking U. Like,
fuck you.
That's basically what they're saying. Like, I took drama because I thought, I don't know. I thought, when you see people on the telly and they're like, well, I went to drama, and I thought, well, maybe I'll be a guy on the telly. No, it was so fucking embarrassing. It was like, when you get in and it's like, right, today we're all going to be chickens, and the bomb's going to go off or whatever. It's like, I'm not prepared for this.
I don't want to humiliate myself.
I was so dry. I was just like, clock. I was like, please
let
it go. But everyone else was going crazy, and I just thought, like, right, I'll do everything else except this chicken thing, all right?
Yeah.
And the next one would be like, I don't know, you have to be the personification of caring.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'll do the next one. It was just until I got a U, and they were just like, can you stop doing it?
Well, my mate took drama, and he said, oh, I'll do it because it's an easy 9. I used to take the piss out of him.
It's an easy 9.
Yeah, like A star, whatever. As in, it'd be easy to get a good grade in it. Performance-wise, he performed in something a few months ago. He was really good. And I thought, wow, this could be something he pursues. And at the start of year 10, which is when we started GCSEs, I said, do you want to pursue drama? He's like, no, not really. It's just so I can get an easy grade 9 with. But then at the end of year 11, he's like, yeah, I might, become an actor or something.
Do you know what? I mean, when you think about jobs and shit now, and like you grind your whole life doing a shit job, it's like, I think now, not so much like podcasting, but like YouTube and shit. Creative things now are becoming a legitimate career path.
I know,
And it makes it like so that life doesn't look so bleak.
Well, it's like the ad revenue, isn't it? And you get Well, I heard you talking about on episode 1 the TikTok Creative Fund.
£3. No offense, TikTok. TikTok is terrible for money.
Yeah. Is that all right?
It's dead, right?
This is live in the flesh.
No,
behind the scenes.
To be honest, this might be a better angle than the one I had it at before.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
The gimbal has been terrible for this, really. For the long time that it's been on. It's been like this the whole time. It looked like I'm on a ship.
Yeah, I saw it moving. I was like, oh.
So you have one job gimbal. This thing is just still. I know we've got to talk about fashion.
Oh yeah, right. Well, yeah. I mean, I'd say I'm into me fashion. But I'm not like one of these people, who's like conscious of fast fashion. I don't.
There's a logo you wanted to show.
Oh yeah, the Carhartt logo. Yeah, Carhartt T-shirt. Very expensive, £40 out of my hard-earned money.
So what's this fashion thing then? When has this started, and what's the deal?
I'd say it started towards the end of last year. I'd always wear T-shirt and chinos.
Yeah,
that was all I used to wear.
Steve Jobs, where he wears the same thing every day.
Yeah. And I started to get a bit sick of it. And I was like, I need to expand my style. And baggy trousers were coming back in.
Yeah.
Now, I've got quite a big waist. I think I've got like a 46, 48 waist maybe. But I just wanted trousers that are a bit baggier. Now, if I get trousers, I go for like a 50 waist.
Yeah.
And that for most mainstream clothing brands, you can't get 50 waist trousers.
Yeah.
So there's this guy who I buy from on eBay, Cassius O'Toole. Shout out to O'Toole Vintage.
Send him some free
on
shit.
eBay. But I'll always buy my trousers from him because he gets these old like Brandacinos called Dockers.
Oh yeah. And like the 90s or...
Yeah, I think so.
I've heard Kramer talk about them in the Seinfeld.
You know, he goes up to the big waist ones and I'll get them from him, and they're like, he'll do them for like a tenner and then say £3 postage. But if you look on the website, they're like 90 quid. Yeah. And most of the ones he sells, they either have minor flaws and they're like almost brand new. Most brands aren't like size inclusive.
No, definitely not.
I mean, I say the word plus size.
Size inclusive could be a new term for that. I know plus size is like women that say plus size.
I don't like the term plus size because I find a lot of the people who use it, you know, no offence to anyone watching, they're just trying to cover up that they're fat and they can't accept it.
Listen, I've never used that term about myself.
I'm sorry.
I don't mess around. I use the word obese.
Yeah, okay. But we'll use the medical
obese,
term.
All right. And just because you're obese shouldn't mean that you can't be dressed fashionably.
Exactly. You know, like a lot of the brands I like, I think this t-shirt's 2XL. Most t-shirts I get are 2XL.
Yeah.
Some I'll have to go for like a 3XL if they have a tight fit. But I
think you're still within that range though.
It's not t-shirts or jumpers or jackets I have a problem with. It's just trousers.
Oh, okay.
Like Carhartt, for example, is a Carhartt shop in town, and
did you mention that? Was that Carhartt?
I don't think I did.
I think you mentioned it. Give the logo another quick mention.
Carhartt. The little embroidered C.
Yeah, Carhartt.
Yeah. But a lot of their old stuff when they started out as a workwear brand was size inclusive, because I had 2 pairs of Carhartt jeans and they were a 50 waist.
Yeah.
But the other side of it, because they've got Carhartt Work in Progress now, which is like the fashion side of it.
Right.
And they only go up to like a 40-inch waist in trousers.
If you go to like, I mean, it makes going to like an old shop, like there was this shop in Newcastle that used to sell like loads of like American stuff, like
workwear.
You know those things that like they would wear in at school jackets, the Letterman jackets, and
varsity jackets. Yeah,
and shit like that. But it would never. Once you get to a certain size, it's like that's over forever now. And like, I think like more. I mean, obviously you can't go and change the vintage stuff, but if you're gonna make new stuff that looks like it,
at least try and be. Yeah.
We do like to use the word size inclusive.
Yeah.
But we do know that when we say that, we're talking about obesity.
You know, I'm obese, I can recognise that.
Is that where you are on the scale, or?
I don't know. I think I'm classed as morbidly obese.
The level for morbidly obese should be more like way up. Like I should be like I've just approached morbid obesity, but it's like I've been fucking morbidly obese since I was like 20. You know? Like,
but I'll be honest. It doesn't bother me. If
everyone's morbidly obese, then it doesn't matter. But
I'm active. I cycle everywhere. You know. Fair enough. I'm not like a runner. I don't run.
To say to me that you're like, if you would categorise yourself as being morbidly obese, like you're being. It's like the scale is way off.
I think because I'm quite tall. I think I'm about 6'3". My weight's displaced evenly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where if you got someone who say this, not the same weight as me, but I think because I'm like 130 kilograms. I play rugby as well, so I used to. So I've always been pretty heavy. I've just gone blank. Well, oh yeah.
So, talking about obesity. Comes up a lot in my videos. You know?
I suppose if you're a lot shorter, but you're still quite heavy, you look fatter, if that makes sense.
Where's it going to go? You know?
Yeah. But because I'm quite tall, I look a bit slimmer. Like if I'm wearing a properly fitting t-shirt and everything. And I suppose like colours as well. Like if you wear black.
You were talking about layering things. Before.
Yeah, layering the Carhartt t-shirt and the Hawaiian shirt.
You mentioned a brand before. I can't remember what it was.
I do layer stuff. Like, I won't always go out in just a t-shirt anymore because I'm a bit conscious if my belly's
It's
kind
a thing,
of
but
there.
I also feel like thin people are less imaginative with the way they dress.
Yeah.
Like if you look at like Jonah Hill, right, is an inspiration. He was.
Yeah,
I guess he's
he
kind of
was-
thin now, but he was big for ages. But he was like
Yeah,
smashing.
I like how he dresses
His
though.
outfits were amazing, and it was inspirational.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I like a lot of his outfits. Like he has these shoes, the Sean Weatherspoon Air Max 97s, and
I mean, he's got money, though. So
oh yeah. I mean, look, if I had money, I'd be decked out. You know what I
dripping
mean?
all over the place.
Oh, honestly, I'd be.
I hate that word. Everyone
Drip.
uses it, and it's like you're oozing with some sort of disease.
Yeah.
Why? It's like I've got the drip. It's
got
like
the
you've got-
drip.
Do you know
What
what
is
that
wrong
used
with
to
you?
mean? Fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
It's like you don't. I feel like no one should want to have that.
Yeah.
That's something you want to go to the doctors about.
You
but
want to look fashionable. You want to look stylish.
you don't want to be oozing with oils. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
That word.
That big. What's? Is he a Saint Bernard?
What is it?
No,
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Ah, he's beautiful.
Very beautiful.
What are you guys filming then?
We're just doing a
Podcast.
little podcast about.
Bowser, no.
Whoa! How-
Bowser.
that was certainly eventful.
Certainly an interesting event in the podcast.
I've never had that happen in my life, but I'm glad it happened on camera. Yeah.
Yeah.